Over 3 billion people are using social media platforms, which is around 45% of the total global population.
But it's such a young industry and people are going to make fumbles and make mistakes, but that's difficult when you're vulnerable, when it's just you on your own and there's nowhere to turn to for help.
Like, that's what everyone does. You go on Facebook, everybody in the world just, oh, look at my kid, having the best time ever. Yeah, but that's social media, right?
Curiosity keeps us evolving.
So in this series, we delve into the top online trending searches,
exploring some of the most crucial people and moments of our past,
delving deep into the hot topics that matter to us right now,
and taking a glimpse into where we might be heading in the future.
This is Nerd Check.
Huda Katan, Cameron Dallas, Lely Pons, Zach King, Logan Paul, KSI, Tyler Oakley. These are just a few of the influencers who have risen to fame and amassed a huge following. It's a phenomenon that feels very 21st century because for the first time, tech gives anyone with a video camera and an internet connection the ability to put themselves in front of an audience of millions. Done right, it can make people rich, famous and, well, influential, but only as long as people sit up and take notice. But influencing other people is nothing new, and what we're seeing now is arguably just the latest manifestation of something that's been going on since civilization pretty much began. So I want to explore just what exactly is influence, and what does it mean today in the digital world we live in, and where exactly might it be heading? Today, the use of celebrity endorsement to shift a product or front a campaign is commonplace, but online, things are working out a little differently. Not by using celebrities, but social media itself creating celebrities, social media influencers. A 2016 study by Twitter reported that 40% of the respondents had made a purchase not through word of mouth, adverts or reviews, but by seeing it used online by an influencer. A more recent study states that 17% of marketers are set to spend over 50% of their budgets on influencer marketing. And it's astonishing how the number of searches for the term influencer has rocketed over the past 5 years. Searches rose from 3,900 in 2015 to 61,000 in 2018, an increase of 1,500%. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. But in the tangled mass of information that we live in, more and more we're ignoring traditional advertising and instead listening to the recommendation and reacting to people online that we can relate to. People who are into the same things that we are, even though we don't know them, who we admire and trust. So I met up with Dr. Wasim Ahmed, a lecturer in digital business at Newcastle University's Business School. Mike Craddock, co-founder of the Kairos Group, that includes an influencer marketing agency as part of what he does, and Sarah Tasker, a blogger, Instagrammer and founder of Me and Orla, who took her Instagram page from a maternity leave hobby to full-time business with over 216,000 followers, all of them involved in the world of influencing to try and scratch the surface of social media influencing. Are there good influencers, and what makes a good influencer, what makes a bad influencer?
So it's going to vary by whether you're thinking about an influencer from a brand perspective or the general public. So brands are more interested in whether an influencer can drive traffic and sales, whereas in the general public, they want someone who's delivering authentic content on a regular basis rather than always trying to sell them something.
Now, some people have a perception, perhaps quite controversially, that what you see on social media platforms and is social media influence losing its magic as more and more people jump onto the social media influencer bandwagon, not to create original content, but to turn themselves into selling machines. Is there a danger that influencers can become too popular and too famous, so they start to lose their authenticity?
Yep, that can happen. So there's been cases where influencers have built up a big following, but they might have launched a specific product or service although they might have, say, 2 million followers, they've only managed to convert 36 sales out of those.
Is there a danger of exploitation? So instead, it is falling to smaller micro-influencers who have nurtured a fan base built around trust, authenticity and personal connection to create a Goldilocks zone for brands willing to invest in the right people for the right products.
I think influencer marketing is here to stay. So around over 3 billion people are using social media platforms, which is around 45% of the total global population. But the difference might be that brands might start to target micro-influencers in terms of marketing in the future, rather than going after some of the larger brands.
Where do you see social influencers? Things will obviously continue to evolve. Where mistakes happen, particularly ones with disastrous consequences for both marketeers and influencers alike, lessons should be learned. And just like in wider society, in the online sphere, we're bound to see examples of good, bad and ugly. But because we have the power and influence ourselves to put social media celebrities on a pedestal and elevate their status, perhaps we need to be more considered about who is the right person or what are the right values to put on top. Ultimately, it's the audience whose support they cannot do without. So maybe we should use our vote, follow, like or share to exert our own influence.